Yashowardhan Azad is former IPS officer. Shilpa Mittal is the sister of Siddharth Sharma. Siddharth was one of the victims of a famous hit-and-run case in Delhi, which happened some years ago. At that time, too, the accused behind the wheel was a minor. Dr. Anshuman Kumar is Director of Surgical Oncology at the Dharamshil Narayan Hospital. Shiv Khera, very popular author and a Delhi resident. Satya Mole, advocate who's filed for an intervention application against Vishal Agarwal, the father of this juvenile accused and his friends drinking just minutes before this car crash happened. And yet, to now, wrap our head around the fact that two doctors in a government hospital switched the sample, send a sample which did not have traces of alcohol in the blood and send somebody else's sample, and that's how the first forensic test did not reveal that the teenager was drunk. I mean, to even imagine that such a thing can be done and done by doctors, just take us through, what this episode shows to you.
This sounds familiar, Zaka, to me. When I was DIG Bhopal in 94, there was a case where we caught a guy who was hunting deers. And let me tell you, he was the son of the vice president of the local party, the ruling party. And in that particular case, the head of the forensics rang me up and said that he was offering 15,000 rupees, mind you, in 94, to change the blood sample from that of a deer to something else. So what I want to tell you is that, Zaka, in India, the governance is weakest at the point of regulation and maintenance and operations. And this is exactly what has happened in this case. I am so depressed since the time I've heard that I have to come on your show for these three cases. And because, even in the other case, you have seen that everywhere regulation has failed. What do I tell you? That if we are talking about corruption at the level of municipality, the police, and all the lower end functionaries at the key system of public delivery systems, they have failed. And that is why we are having these incidents. And let me tell you another thing. The senior officers who are supposed to supervise all this, they have completely failed. And that's why it's very depressing, but it's a fact of life. That whether if a license is not given, it's money. Whether it's the change of blood samples, it is money. And yes, I totally agree with you. If you have the money and the power, you can manipulate things in your favor. I'm sorry to say that.
Shilpa Mittal is the sister of Siddharth Sharma, who was also the victim of a hit-and-run case. And Shilpa, when you saw the news of the Pune case, and this juvenile behind the wheel, and that too after having consumed alcohol, what were the memories that flashed in your mind? Because you also waged a powerful struggle to try and get the accused in your brother's case to be tried as an adult. I don't know the status of that. But just because this juvenile was 3 or 4 months short of turning 18, it seems like lenient sections of the law will only be applicable to him.
Yes. It's true. Actually, let me just address the main issue here that we have a very, very flawed system, a judiciary. The book that we follow is actually full of loopholes, is why everything boils down to that. We have a system where there are so many loopholes that these rich or these even normal people can get away with it because the government or the lawmakers are not ready to correct those flaws. I have gone to Supreme Court in January 2020 to make them realize that there is a flaw in the law, that is Section 15, where nobody can be tried as an adult if they are driving the car because there is a flaw. No matter how much we can scream and cry, the court only follows the book. And the book says nobody can be tried as an adult because there is a flaw in the law. There is nobody else's mistake. So who do you blame? You have to blame the judiciary. It's like reliving again. I have been fighting for past 8 years to get some corrections done. But how much can one fight when nobody is there? The system is not there to support you. If I have gone to the Supreme Court and they have actually directed the legislatives, the lawmakers to correct that loophole, and it's not been corrected. So it's going in whose favor? It's going in the favors of the rich and famous, because only they drive all these high speed cars.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's all a collective effort to not make a law watertight. For me, I would like to request through your channel to the system that juvenile driving is a crime. Period. There is no in between there.
Correct.
I'm sorry. There shouldn't be any discussion. Nobody has to fight for the justice. It's wrong means wrong. We cannot be being a victim of a situation first and then being a victim of a system. It's appalling. I'm sorry. I'm a common citizen and a common man of this country. I'm so disappointed. My grandfather is a freedom fighter. My father is a Navy person, and we are going through this. I feel, what have they worked for this to not get justice in this country?